Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars 1 here, and Merry Christmas everybody. For this one, we're gonna do another anime review. What is it? Fate Zero. Yes, I know this has nothing to do with Christmas. I don't care. Now, to be honest with you guys, I really liked Fate Zero the very first time I saw it. I absolutely adored the characters, the story, the animation, the music. I absolutely loved the anime. Do my thoughts hold up on this anime, or are they like Fate's the Unlimited Blade Works movie, and they just come tumbling down? Well, let's find out. First up, the story. Oh boy, the story. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. The story is actually pretty good in my opinion. Yeah, admittedly the heavy dialogue-ish kind of style in the first half can be a little long-winded at times, but damn it all, it always intrigues me. Every time I get to just watch two characters interact with each other, for some reason it just always intrigues me with the pairings with some of these characters. Watching them interact, watching their disagreements, their agreements, everything. I really enjoy that aspect of the story. But what else I enjoy is overall just some of the moral choices made. There's a lot of gray areas, not a lot of just simple black and white, but a lot of grays in between. Admittedly, yeah, I can totally see why people would not like the story. It is incredibly dark. Sometimes maybe a little too dark, and maybe trying too hard, but I never saw it that way myself. I can understand why people might. But honestly, I absolutely adore the story. I can't help it. Like, there are minor nitpicks I go with, like the long dialogue, but overall, I just love the story. Not much more needs to be said. The characters, as well, I absolutely adore. For the most part. Thank you, Zouken, my most hated anime character. Moving on. But, honestly, the rest of the cast is just great. The 7 masters and 7 servants, each, for the most part, have interesting backstories, or just are interesting characters. Honestly, I absolutely love the character cast, with the best characters being Ryder, who invented for me the Ryder approves thing I always do, and Waver, Saber, Kiritsugu. There's too many characters I like to name here. Honestly, the character cast in general is just one I absolutely like, with a few exceptions. Overall, I just love them. That's all that needs to be said. The animation, oh my god, when it's at its best, it's just great. The fight scenes are well animated and just great to look at least in my opinion. But that's not to say anything about the backgrounds, which feel really well detailed and distinctive. Yeah, there could be a little more going on at times, but overall I really just enjoyed seeing the backgrounds of it. The character designs could be a little hiccupish at times, but they're not bad either. Honestly, I just really like the animation as well. Great job, Ufotable. You did a great job here. Next up is the music. Yuki Kajiura, as of late, has been getting a lot of flack for being very samey. And it's not actually that hard to see why. She kind of has been in the past few years. You can notice that with some of her more later works. But I'll be damned if I don't say I don't love this soundtrack. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact this is like my second or third time ever actually seeing her work, so I'm not as spoiled to it, for lack of a better word. So I really like the OST with a lot of memorable tracks, at least for me. But again, that's maybe because I wasn't spoiled to Yuki Kajiura by that point. Maybe if I listened to it at a later point, I would have probably had different opinions. And it's perfectly fine if you have different opinions than me on this one, because I can totally see why you would. But for me, at least, I still love the soundtrack. But again, that's just me. But that's nothing to say about the openings or endings. Opening 1 and 2 are just brilliant to listen to and just a joy. Especially for me, opening 2, which is personally one of my favorite anime openings, period. I don't know why, I just kind of think it fits better with Fate Zero than the first one did. Though not to say the first one's bad by any means, it's really good too, but I just kind of like the second opening better. Again, personal preference. The ending themes, I think the first one is pretty good musically, but visually can be a little eh. Whereas I think they have the complete opposite opinion of the second ending theme, where it's like, the song's more eh, I could take it or leave it, but the visuals are pretty good, at least for me. And I like seeing the fact of we get to see Iris Field and Kiritsugu's pass through that ending theme, and that's kind of nice. But overall, I think neither ending are really great, but both are good for different reasons. Now, should you guys go with this one sub or dub? I've gone on record to say I love Fate Zero's dub before, and that still rings true. True, 1 or 2 roles are probably miscasts, but overall, I still love the dub. With notable performance going to Jameson Price as Ryder. My god, he made the character just a joy to watch. Also, Waver's voice actor, whose name at the moment sadly escapes me, but his voice actor too is really great as well. Honestly, those two alone would make a great dub, but there are even several other ones like Matthew Menser, Liam O'Brien, Kari Walgenherm, I can't pronounce that name either, sorry. So many names I could go over. But honestly, that's just it. I love the dub. However, I'm going to say go with your personal preference, and here's why. While I really love the dub, I can totally see why people would not. If people watch the dub first, I don't think they would like the dub that much. But if people watch the dub first, I'm not sure they'd like the sub that much. Honestly, that's why I say go with your personal preference, because honestly, I think it's fine either way. One way or the other, you're getting a great experience, so just go with personal preference. But again, that's just me. I love Fate Zero. It is no secret that I love Fate Zero. It's never been a secret that I love Fate Zero. But I absolutely love this anime. Last year, I actually did do a review for Fate Zero, but due to some problems with YouTube, it sadly was taken down. And finally this year, I get to finally put it back on the map the same day I lost it last year. Now, to also mention something else, ever since I came up with the idea of a look back, I always knew I'd be returning to Fate Zero. There were 2 anime that I knew that I would be doing for a look back since the very creation of it. Those being FLCL and Fate Zero. And now finally I have accomplished both goals. And I'm pleased to say I love both of them just as much as I did the first time as I did the second time, if not more so. I love Fate Zero, and I can totally understand why someone would not like it. And while I may disagree with you, you are entitled to that opinion. I am perfectly willing to accept that. If you do not like Fate Zero, I get that. But me personally, I absolutely love this anime. And that's why I give Fate Zero a 9.5 out of 10. While I admit it does have some minor problems along the way, for me, I don't care. I love this anime way too much to really care about it. And I think, to me at least, that's all that matters, is that you love an anime for what it is. And I give this the writer's seal of approval. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1. Have a Merry Christmas, and we will see you guys next time.